From New York to California to Georgia, Americans are leaving the West for Vietnam. It's true. I see it in packs. I see it in droves, especially in Western areas such as Cao Dinh. There are so many Americans. And I wanted to know exactly why, because you can see it on the news in places like Da Nang. That's a huge rise and huge topic that so many people all across around the world in the West, they're coming into Da Nang. And now even more and more are coming out here to Ho Chi Minh City in Saigon. So that got me thinking, why exactly? And based off my experience and data, being friends with, going out, meeting, drinks, networking with foreigners, expats here, I found out some of the big couple reasons why. And the first one being, it's pretty obvious. Yes, it's a lower cost of living, and the things they can afford out here, they would normally have to stress about, wonder about in their home country, home state. And it's such like so small things such as like groceries. You know, they're always thinking about, okay, am I able to afford grocery like this type of way this week? Do we need to cut back on certain things? Or, you know, gas, health insurance bills, or a car bills, or, you know, certain parts. Oh, you know, if a car part gets blown out, oh my God, that's gonna set me back a little bit. Here, they don't have to worry about those type of things, especially cost of transportation. They're more about less, if it happens, it happens. You know, it's more laid back, knowing in the back of their mind that they'll have the funds, or at least have their costs reduced so much. The fact is, they can take that hit and take that blow. It goes even further with retirements and people who just who have like a more excessive amount of budgeted income. They don't worry about the retirement as much. Now, obviously, they mapped it out, but at the end of the day, they know, okay, I can comfortably spend this amount of money and save up for accidents because the cost, the buying power is so much higher. I don't mind it. Now, obviously, there's still some things where they're generating some level of income and revenue to be able to still sustain it, but it's not a massive hit compared to what it'd be like in the States. If they had to take that hit, they would be stressed about it a lot. Here, it's not as bad, and they're more okay. I could probably take like 3-4 more of those financial blows or on circumstances blows or life blows. That is perfectly fine. That's one of the probably the top factors. Another factor is, you know, the stress levels here. When you come to Vietnam and you meet the people here, it's your first time, you'll notice it's more laid back in terms of how they, you know, deal with things, how they operate with things. And there's always not this like competitive nature, at least not amongst with foreigners or expats, where you're comparing yourself back home constantly. You're always thinking about, okay, you know, this person is doing this person is doing that. You're bombarded with media and this idea that should always constantly trying to one-up each other. And with the expats and foreigners that you meet here, it's more about this like camaraderie. It's like, oh, hey, oh, did you try out this thing? Oh, you gotta go here, you gotta go, who do you know here? Oh man, I can get you in touch with this person. Oh, hey, have drinks over here. It's like this little expat and foreigner bubble where you wouldn't be able to get that back home because, you know, everybody is, you know, similar in maybe destinations, goals, in terms of stature. Maybe they're trying to reach to this next target and goal. But here, you're gonna meet a mixture of bubble of all different types of people, whether it's, you know, people from Europe, people from your home country, but it's all still labeled under the one thing, which is expats, foreigners. And it's almost having, it's like we gotta stick with each other. Just to be able to, because they know what it's like to be in that one spot. So it's got that more relaxed vibe and feel to it compared to what it was back home. And, you know, this has a sense of more like positivity, gets more energy involved about the whole situation. That's another factor as well. Another thing is there seems to be a massive divide between, different parties, different political belief systems, different belief systems just in general, whether it's, political, racial, economic beliefs. It's just this argument back and forth where when I was out with, people coming here and living here for a long time, they would always talk about how there's always this constant fighting on the news, on the media, that made them think they have to think like this, or it would rile up their day because this event happened or this belief happened. And because of that, they would always just tell me about how negative their day starts, or how just the way they felt about the day. It really negatively affected them. And as they were talking with their friends and family, it stressed them out. They were thinking about the future. Can I actually stay here long term? Can I actually, make a life here if this is how it's constantly going to be? But the biggest factor here in Vietnam, you don't have to worry about those things because you're literally halfway across the world. And so the biggest thing I've heard is it doesn't affect them anymore. Yeah, sure, they'll hear about the news, they'll listen, hey, what's up about the news? But at the end of the day, they'll be like, that's my old me. That's my old life. I don't know if I have to think about that anymore. So to take that massive weight off your chest that you don't get involved with your country's or states, affairs, it just takes a pressure off your shoulders and you can actually live life. And that was a big factor. And number 4 is being the fact is when you're meeting people here, you're gonna meet so many different varieties of people. And when you're meeting them, you're gonna have a more, a stronger bubble in terms of who you get to meet and who you get to pick your friends and choosing. What I felt was when you're back home, they're gonna have different lifestyles. Okay, you're trying to work for your corporate job, you're trying to advance the ladder, you're trying to do XYZ, and it's more like networking relationships here. Here, when you're making relationships and friends, it's more about, okay, what event can we do together? Hey, what activity is there? Hey, let's go out to drinks and bars and clubs. Or let's just have brunch. Let's have some coffee. There's always these little expat groups together where when you're meeting them as friends or acquaintances, and you're both here for the long term, there's that synchronization already because of the fact, oh, I also want to live abroad. I also, don't want to live back in my home country. Let's just keep hanging out. Let's keep talking because you're both here for a certain purpose. To get away from those ideological beliefs, to get away from the certain culture, to live a different and potentially better lifestyle. So because of that, it's I wouldn't say it's a different type of friendship. I'm not saying it's easier because the fact is there are people who do come and go, and you would have to find the ones who are here for the long term, long run. But the ones you do find and the ones you do see, staying here for longer years and years and years, you'll find out, oh, okay, interesting. Okay, we could talk about that more. We can hang about that more. And as I'm going on with that, I forget sometimes that I get to enjoy life here in Vietnam. Even now, I'm currently just around District 1. Riding on the bike right now, and there's a feeling of relaxedness as I'm just chilling here on the bike. I've been doing this quite frequently, and as I stay here longer and longer, I can't help but think that a lot of the things that I had to think about back home, they don't really apply here. Some of the things I mentioned was like stuff on the news, back and forth racial stuff, or back and forth, be careful what I have to say constantly, or just thinking about who I'm gonna offend, or who do I even talk to back home, how do I even make friends, is this person genuine, things like that help me make that, it's easier here in terms of how do I navigate through life? Just because people here you get to meet that you can filter, you can find out like, okay, how and why are they here? What are they doing it for? You kind of see their point of view and reference like quickly. Where I felt in the States, it's like long term, but then they can change up a little bit. Obviously, it can happen here as well, but you can quickly find out, okay, what brings you to a different country? Are you here for the right reasons? Are you here to actually enjoy life, or are you here just for more like the hedonistic lifestyle, and more of just trying to take advantage of people? So yeah, but this is from my experience and from what I've heard from other people. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video about it. It's a really nice day out here in Saigon, and we are going to just take a trip and buy some wine, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully you enjoy and potentially see you on the other side of the world.